all my life. Been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price.
What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of The Tuesday Show, brought to you by Blue Light Media. My name's Mikhail, and this
is Hannah.
It's been a long time, Hannah.
It has been. It's been good to
lights,
be back.
Cameras.
Lit very well, thanks to Nelson.
It's gonna be amazing. Today's Tuesday Show is actually we'll just keep it. Today's Tuesday Show is actually brought to you by Mill Creek Botanicals. They're a sustainable, organic shampoo and conditioner company, family owned for the last 35 years. And we all use their products. I love their chapstick. There's their shampoo. Nelson loves the biotin. He makes that very clear. Tune in a couple weeks when you see his beard growing out like crazy. It's gonna be awesome. Anyway, Hannah, what the hell are you doing over there?
I'm caffeinating. What are you up to?
We decided to bring on a coffee company today, which is great because clearly I haven't had mine yet. But today we're talking about Kicking Horse Coffee, which is based out of British Columbia. And actually they were founded by two entrepreneurs in 1996 in the Canadian Rocky Mountains. And today they actually employ 120 people. They're still based in the same place. And their flagship cafe is also based where their office is. And help me say, how do I say Invermere?
Invermere? That's what I would say.
Okay, in Invermere. Today, they sell ground coffee, whole bean coffee, and cold brew. You can find them at many online retailers as well as Target, Whole Foods, that whole thing. Just look in the organic section if you don't find them in the coffee section. But Hannah, let's talk a little bit about your obsession with whatever this is.
This is called a Chemex, which is a type of pour over, and it helps bring out the flavors of the coffee. Notice, I'm not measuring the water or the beans, so I'm kind of a fake coffee connoisseur, but I really prefer it over French press. I have my own pour over for the office, so I don't use the Keurig.
Why do you like it over French press?
I feel like it brings out the tasting notes a little bit better in my own experience, and it's a little bit easier to, even though it's a more involved process, I find it a little bit easier to get the flavor just right.
Okay. So did you have a chance to check out the brand before we brought it on today?
I did. I really like the overall aesthetic of it. It's kind of dark and moody, which matches their coffee. But yeah.
Have you tried their coffee before today?
I have. My boyfriend got it for me for Christmas. So
how did you like it?
It was good. It was a little dark. Actually very dark, close to kind of like the Starbucks vibe. But I haven't tried this specific blend, so I'm excited to try it out with you.
Okay, cool. Also, their whole thing is that they make kick-ass coffee. Not just any coffee.
Kick-ass coffee. Sorry, I took that from you.
No, that was perfect.
I burst your bubble.
I felt it coming out, and then it happened. It was perfect. Cool, so let's run through their influencer dream team. Who is somebody that you would love to see work with them?
I have two. One is Zooey Deschanel. I think it's pretty obvious that I'm a New Girl fan in the office. And Mikhail actually picked her, but I'm gonna steal her.
I picked her for you.
I appreciate that. You care for me.
I do.
And I think kind of like her quirky personality, and also they are organic, fair trade, and sustainable, and that's something that Zooey Deschanel is really passionate about. And she's actually started her own her own company within kind of the organic realm, and so I think that would be a really good pairing.
Cool. For me, is John Malkovich. I feel like he's just a gangster, and he would have like a coffee that's like kick-ass coffee, and I don't know, he's like my favorite actor for some reason. I haven't seen it, have you ever seen Being John Malkovich?
I haven't, no.
Yeah, don't.
Okay,
it's
good. So I'm not missing out on a lot of things.
It's kind of weird.
Good to know.
Maybe I'm just not smart enough to understand movies of that depth and with that many layers. Anybody else that you're thinking of?
I also really like the idea of Jesse Thomas. So he's an Ironman champ, and he also started a company with a couple other athletes called Picky Bar. They have picky oats, and so they often talk about have your coffee with your oats, and so I think that'd be a good pairing. They also have a smooth caffeinator Picky Bar, which is exceptional and pairs very well with coffee. I'm just gonna say that right now.
That's awesome, I love it. My last one would be Tom Bilyeu. I think he already has something with Bulletproof, something like that.
Possibly, yeah.
But Tom Bilyeu just kind of seems like the type that really gives a crap about his coffee. So I think that he'd definitely be a good fit, and he's super passionate about stories and things like that. And this coffee had a pretty decent story that it was started by two entrepreneurs in the mountains, and they're still there. So it's great to see that kind of progress. But before we get to the Heartlight assessment, let's check this out.
Also, this is two former baristas here right now.
That's true.
So
did you ever get your coffee master?
I did, and I wasn't there long enough.
Cheers.
Cheers. I like it.
I'm into that. That's actually really good.
It's not as dark as the other blend that I tried, which I like. I like dark coffee, but sometimes it can just be.
I know that people say this, but after drinking so much coffee, there's definitely a difference between like a smooth coffee and like sharp coffee. You can taste the citruses, things like this. There's a lot of these, there's a lot of different coffee houses around here where they take forever to give you your coffee, but then it comes out like too citrusy. Portola. Like,
I like the Portola citrus.
Nah,
so we'll
can't.
go with that.
I can't do it. But kick-ass coffee, like straight up. I've never tried it outside of today. This blend, which was the
Grizzly Claw.
The Grizzly Claw, super good. I would say it's like a medium blend type of thing, right? I don't know. It is medium for sure. Nice. Cool. So let's go through the Heartline rating. Hannah, does the bio clearly state the product or business?
Yes, it does. It says wake up and kick ass, 100% certified organic fair trade Rocky Mountain roasted coffee. And I like how it kind of essentializes the brand in it, and it tells you what they do.
Cool. Are the Instagram stories highlights used well?
Not at all.
Not at all. That's actually kind of a bummer. I think Instagram story highlights, not for one, like it kind of helps like amplify the imagery of the brand, but it's a nice way for people to kind of like learn more about it. Like I would have loved to see this logo, guys, here on your Instagram stories, and tell us where this coffee came from and how you came up with that blend. What about consistent content?
So it looks like they don't have at least 5 posts per week, and that's really beneficial just to kind of stay in people's feeds and keep that top of mind awareness up.
As we're going through, it kind of looks like, you know, they're actually going for maybe once a week, maybe twice a week, so definitely a little bit more consistency there. What about the 20 to 30 rotated hashtags?
So it looks like they use under 10. And we recommend 20 to 30, and then keep those rotated. So it looks like they are using a brand hashtag. Actually, all 3 of them are brand hashtags.
Yeah.
So we'd recommend doing pour over coffee fan, coffee nerd, kind of like rotating through those types of things, and also pulling in organic, fair trade, that type of thing.
I also think that breakfast hashtags are good for that too. So, and a lot of the reason you want to do that again is just for discoverability. If you're using a branded hashtag, unless you're like a huge brand running a campaign, most likely people aren't gonna be looking at branded hashtags. What about the tagging the location in each post?
I was actually just looking at that. They don't do that, which even they have an opportunity to both choose their location, like their hometown location, but then also choose other, like if they have major retailers in major cities, and start kind of rotating through that to help that organic discovery as well.
I like the idea of using their hometown because they mentioned it a couple times. The Canadian Rocky Mountains, the Evermere, British Columbia.
Sorry, British Columbia.
No, it's okay. It's hard. Words are hard. But yeah, like branding that, it was in their story, so branding it in your, in the feed can make it like a destination because you already have that cafe. What about engaging with their community and comments? Let's put that up. They
are, yes. It looks like they could engage a little bit more, but it does look like they are looking at, or they are liking comments.
Which is good. I think I saw, like,
they are answering.
Yeah, so engagement is good. That's great. Instagram stories in the last 24 hours. Let's see.
No,
womp womp. Instagram stories, like, look, you might feel like you're getting less, less impressions because if you look back on like the business profile, you'll see that maybe you're reaching 1,000 people per post and only like 200 people are seeing your Instagram stories, but that's where a lot of people are hanging out. And typically the attention and engagement there is a lot better than somebody just like swiping through really quickly. So definitely consider using your Instagram stories. What about consistent branded content?
I really like their content. I think they have a good mix of different, like they have educational posts about how to brew with different types of brewing methods. Cool. And they also have some motivational things. They are using some videos. I think just the overall aesthetic, when you go to their profile and scroll through, it definitely matches the brand. Okay.
And then what about a healthy mix of product and lifestyle content?
Unfortunately, this is a no. It's mainly their products, and I think because they are saying like wake up and kick ass. I think that's a really cool opportunity to have some adventure type photos, or even different influencers and things like that of just reposting that.
Like, how do you kick ass in the morning? Let's go through morning routines with like your top influencers. What does Zoe Deschanel do first thing in the morning? What does John Malkovich do first thing in the morning other than just be a badass? And then lastly, are they incorporating video in the main feed?
They are, yes, which is always good to see. I think some people tend to hesitate and focus on video in Instagram stories, but it is cool to see that they are using some in there.
And although you are using, you know, I don't know if we're gonna talk directly to Kicking Horse, but although you are using video in your main feed, definitely maybe a little bit more consistently, because there was one post in maybe the last month. But of course, we just wanted to be as objective as possible. You did use it. That's awesome. Your final score, or Kicking Horse Coffee's final score, is a 4 out of 10. So there's definitely some room for improvement, but you have an amazing product, you have amazing branded content, and I think that there's just a lot of potential for this thing to blow up, right?
I agree, yeah.
Awesome. Any final thoughts, Hannah?
No, just that I'm gonna go make some more coffee.
Yeah, I would actually like a lot more of that. That's awesome. To everybody watching on LinkedIn, we really appreciate your time and attention. And remember, no matter what you do, be sure to put your heart into it, and we'll see you next week on The Tuesday Show.